Hello everybody, we're making another video. You ready? This video is going to be a little bit different. This is not my kind of video. I don't want to make this video. I don't feel comfortable making this video, but I feel like I have to. I'm compelled to do it. If it can help one person, it's worth me feeling uncomfortable, throwing myself under the bus for a couple minutes. We're in the hallway. Never thought I would see this hallway again. We got the picture frame. Nothing's in the picture frame. I don't know what to put in it. We're just going to be real. You know, I don't feel comfortable, but we're just going to F it, right? We're just going to get it out there. This video is going to be about mental health, depression. We're going to talk about, you know, regarding the fitness lifestyle, because that's what we're in. I mean, this can happen outside of that, of course. But we're going to talk about steroids, which I don't want to, but we have to. That's the stigma. And if somebody says they have a mental problem, it's always going to be blamed on the steroids. So let's talk about the truths with that. Talk about my story, what happened to me last week, what led up to that. And then also, you know, what you can do, recommendations I can give. This isn't a story of hope. This isn't a story of success. You know, when you see something where maybe somebody became a drug addict or an alcoholic and they went through a lot of hard stuff and awful things, and then they got sober and clean, and then they came out and they were successful and they tell you how they did it. This isn't that. You know, I'm in this. It's not good. I'm not better. You know, I have hope maybe a little bit that it might get better, but I don't know. Part of me doesn't feel like that there's any hope. So being 100% honest, let's talk about the steroids and the mental health, because there's going to be people that comment on this video that steroids are all to blame and go back and forth. And so this video isn't for them. It's not for them. It's for you that are in the situation, that know what's going on. Steroids, can they affect your mood? Can they make you angry? Can they make you sad? You know, absolutely. Absolutely. I always thought that they enhance the moods that you're in. If you get angry, it can make you more aggressive. If you're sad, it can make you more sad. And then not even regarding when you come off of them and you crash and you don't do a proper post-cycle therapy, that could put you in a depression. You know, for me, it doesn't affect me. There is some steroids out there that we all know that affect your mood and can make you angry more than others. I've been doing it for years. I know how things affect me, but I've had depression, not knowing it, but looking back since I was a kid. I had issues all the way up until now. Times when I'm off of everything for months. It's still the same. It comes and goes. There's no pattern. So a little bit about my past, and then we'll get to what happened last week. You know, as a kid, I didn't have a dad. He left when I was young. But I had a stepdad, but we didn't have a relationship. So I didn't really have a father figure to talk to. My mom was there. I didn't talk to her about anything, really. I didn't have any friends. I was a loner. A lot of isolation, kept to myself. You know, I was picked on like a lot of kids, and that made me more isolated, shy. You know, I just basically tried to survive. You know, I wasn't thriving, I was surviving, getting to the next thing, not first, not last, no noise, just get by. As I became a teenager, it got worse. That turned into anger, didn't know how to deal with it. Was bullied, I was jumped, you know, a lot of people go through this kind of thing, but it affected me a lot, you know, and now as I'm older, I realize how much it affected me, you know, beyond anything I thought, you know. And I got into bodybuilding as a teenager, you know, and I put everything into it, like a lot of you out there, I'm sure, can relate. All that anger and pain you just put into this thing. I would go to the gym. I would kill the weights. I was going to work out harder than anybody else. I was going to push myself to be as big and freaky as possible, be the best in the world, and everybody was going to see it and they were going to pay. And that's how I dealt with it. I masked it. You stuff it. That's what we do. We're stuffing everything. Didn't tell anybody. You know, you deny it to yourself how you really feel. But now that I'm older, I know I'm not going to be the best. You know, I'm not delusional. I'm still going to bodybuild. I still love lifting. But it was a big mask, a big bandage on top of what is actually happening. And now I have kids, I have a wife, and it got to the point with my depression, you know, I would, as you might know, I would come out with videos and then I would be gone for months. You know, even with success, I would get depressed. And it's just if something good or bad happens, I would get depressed. Isolate more. I convinced myself my kids would be better off without me because I don't want them to be like me. I convinced myself my wife would be better without me. She deserves a better husband, somebody that could be there. So what happened last week was I woke up one day, no specific incident, didn't feel that great. Decided I was going to go to New Jersey because that's where I'm originally from. I love the beach, Cape May. I was going to get a hotel room. It's about 2.5 hours away from where I'm at now. I went outside with a saw. I sawed off half the garden hose. I grabbed a roll of duct tape, put it in the car. I went to the liquor store. I bought 4 bottles of vodka. I had a half already mixed up. Drove down to the shore, checked into a hotel, started drinking, and I don't drink. Maybe once a year. That's not my thing. Started drinking, passed out at some point, sobered up, woke up at night, said I wanted to see the beach one more time, grabbed the bag, put a bottle of vodka in it, saw the beach, went back to my car, duct taped the hose to the tailpipe, put it in the back window, taped it up, got in the car, turned on the ignition, started sucking in. You know, I had no intention of stopping, no fear. I was going to do it. Nothing was going to stop me. And I called, I was talking to a friend on the phone, and unbeknownst to me, they had called the cops, and somehow they found me, you know, and I tried to get away, drive away, and they had me blocked off on another street. So long story short, they got me out. They called an ambulance. At the time, I was pissed. I was angry. I didn't want to stop. And now I knew that I not only was going to be stopped, that I wasn't going to be able to do this again. I didn't know what was going to happen. So they took me to the hospital. And then about 12 hours later, I was involuntarily transported to a behavioral health center, which is basically like a hospital and a jail mixed together. You're confined, you can't leave, but they're treating you. You have to see doctors, go to classes. I was there for 7 days. At first, I didn't want to be there. Heard all sorts of crazy stuff. You know, one nurse said to me, "Do you work out or do you just take a lot of steroids?" One lady said when you know, because this place was a dual unit I was in, and it had alcoholics and drug addicts. And I didn't understand why I was there because I just tried to commit suicide. Why am I here with these people? Nothing against them. And they said it was because of my steroids. And the nurse said, "Why do you feel the need that you need to bulk up?" And I just felt like I felt alone and isolated before this whole fucking thing. And then when I got in there, I'm even more of an outcast because now I'm the big juiced up asshole and nobody understands steroids. Not even the doctors, not even the nurses. So you're lumped in as a drug addict. You're lumped in the same category as a alcoholic. And that's how I felt at first. And then by the 6th, 7th day, I didn't want to leave. I realized I was better off in an institution setting. All those people that were drug addicts and alcoholics, I found out that a lot of them were there because they tried to commit suicide. And there's a lot of, you know, my drug was an alcohol and and pills or drugs. It was working out, which is a beneficial thing. But that was my mask. When I felt awful, I didn't deal with it. I worked out. And it still can be a beneficial thing. I'm not saying that it's not, but it can be even more beneficial if you're whole and you deal with these other issues and you're working out and you're enjoying it. And then those things together, you're unstoppable. So I thought I was manning up. But the real man is confronting your issues that you have. So I got out of this place and now I'm back. I'm back home. I'm lost. I'm going to meetings. I started medication that I didn't want to take, but I'm going to give it a try. It could take weeks to months to actually work. Hasn't done anything yet. I'm going to meetings, group meetings. We're going to see if it helps. We're going to see if it works. I'm going to give it a go. But honestly, I don't know. But the message that I want to make is, if you're out there and you're feeling the same, get help. Talk to a doctor. Just say, hey man, I'm feeling depressed. Get off the steroids. Don't even tell them you took steroids or taking them, because there's going to be a stigma and you're going to be looked at differently, and it's always going to be there. But get off of them so you can give yourself a chance, come back to where you should be naturally, so then you can give yourself a chance for any kind of treatment to actually work. And you're not alone. When I started this, I thought I was alone. Like, nobody felt the way I felt. Nobody knew me. People think I'm funny, but they don't know the real me. But there's a lot of people that are in the same boat. I met a lot of people, and that's part of the reason why I didn't want to leave that treatment center, because a lot of those people felt the same way I did, and I connected. So you're not alone out there. And, I'm putting myself out there in this video. It's very uncomfortable, and it's, not talked about. And, I feel like it's just something I need to do. And, the big message is just get help, man. Just get help. There's other people out there, and if you go to groups, you'll meet people that have the same kind of thing. And, that's truly manning up. That's truly facing a problem and conquering it. So good luck to everybody. And we'll be back in the next video. Crazy as ever. All aboard the crazy train again. So get ready. Take care of yourselves.